Hey guys, it's Nerris here, and we are starting off a brand new league. This is the Olymblix Season 2, Week 1. This is a huge league. I've seen it around on Reddit for a while, and I'm very excited to be getting into it for Season 2. One of the big differences with this league versus other leagues that you guys should be aware about. First of all, there are no duplicate races. So every coach is playing a different race. We've got a massive team diversity going on in this league. Secondly, this was a draft pick league. So after everybody signed up, we all drafted positions and picked our races in that order. Now, I was actually last pick. And at that point, I had access to very few teams, but somehow the Undead made it through all that way. So while I know I already have an Undead team that I'm streaming for another league, I just could not pass up on taking the Undead in this league. The last cool thing about this particular league versus the others is this league actually has a prize pool, with a copy of Dark Souls 2 going out to the first place winner. And I believe one of the other contestants has contributed 2 copies of a different game for second and third place, and I'll have to double check that before we get going. Now, as mentioned, I am playing an Undead team, and my opponent for the first week is the Lizardmen, I believe. So we're going to send an invite out, and we're going to get things going here in just a second. Now, I do believe he is waiting for me, and I might have kept him waiting too long. Oh no, invitation accepted. Here we go. We are kicking off. Now, if there are any issues with audio quality, with audio balance, or anything like that, guys in stream, let me know. And as mentioned, if you have any questions about the rules or anything like that, again, let me know and I'll try to explain those as we're going along. Now, because these are brand new teams with no skills on them, neither of us are getting any kind of inducements because our teams are considered equal strength at the moment. Now, my opponent, looking through his team before this, is starting with the Croxagore. He's starting with a full complement of his Saurus players, so he has all of his high strength players on the team and a couple skinks behind that. In order to get those players, he has had to skimp on rerolls. So he is starting with 2 rerolls in this game, whereas I'm starting off with a more typical 3. So I'm hoping that perhaps my opponent will be slightly less reliable, and I might be able to get some turnovers and find ways to take advantage of that. That said, Lizardmen are never a pushover. So this game is kicking off here in just a second, and we'll get going. Gotta move my Twitch chat over a bit. Oh, and we're in the Pirate Arena. I'm gonna pick Tails, and I have won the kickoff. Against Lizardmen, I'm going to choose to receive. Now, this does mean that I will be getting the first turn of the game, so I'll have a chance to throw some blocks before my opponent does. The weather has been rolled for nice for this game, so the weather's not going to be affecting our ability to move or handle the ball at all. I'm looking to the side here. My opponent has won the fame roll, so he's going to have a bit of an advantage here during the kickoff table results. So I'll need to keep that in mind for when that matters. Yeah, the Lizardmen are big. So this big guy in the middle here is the Croxagore. He is scary because he starts off with a mammoth Strength 5. Now, almost every Strength 5 player in Blood Bowl does have some disadvantages. This guy has the boneheaded rule. So at the start of every turn, he has to roll a 6-sided dice. And if he rolls a 1, that guy gets to do nothing that turn. Now, the huge advantage of the Undead team is that I have 2 mummy players. Somewhere. Oh, there they are. And these guys are both Strength 5 as well. Not only are they awesome because they're Strength 5, they have absolutely no negatives. They're the only Strength 5 players to hit the board without a downside or a trade-off. Now, as I mentioned earlier, guys, as mentioned earlier, my ghouls here are definitely my weakest players, so they're going to be playing on the defensive side of things while everyone else tries to get up in my opponent's business. And just as a nod to my opponent Deftwolf, I will be playing my ghoul named Deftwolf as the ball carrier this turn. Just for a bit of fun. Now, I am going to move 2 zombies up here. Just to make sure that these guys, my mummies, always have an assist with themselves. Otherwise, I think I might actually skip my blitz this turn and keep everyone hanging back. Although I could blitz a skink, which would be absolutely hilarious to try to hit one really early. Alright, so we're going to accept the kickoff. Now again, for those in stream, I will be going over a bit of the rules here, more so than I do in my normal casts. But I am on short turns here, so I will be playing faster. Every time there's a kickoff, there's a dice roll to see what happens as a random effect. And it looks like this time my opponent actually ended up getting an extra reroll for the half. So where I was hoping to get some advantage on that side of things, it does not look like that's going to be working to my benefit here. Now, I can get the ball and move it way up the field, but I don't need to be too far forward just yet. I actually, if anything, want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7 and bring it back this way, or go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and go towards the middle. Typically, I would be trying to play the ball forward. The problem is my the Lizardmen teams are so freaking fast that we're going to actually bottle up back here somewhere because I don't want my players getting blitzed. Okay, so we need to pick up the ball, but I really want to throw some blocks before that happens. So we're going to start off throwing a block on this Saurus. I don't have block, he does not have block, so these are risky, but I do have 2 dice. And this is the opponent down result, so we're going to push this guy down. So you're going to be down, I'm going to move you to here. I'm not going to choose to follow up into the space because I don't want to be tied up with the Saurus. This is actually going to free up a lot of my players. The prize is actually being contributed by the fellow who has decided to run the league here. Oh! Oh! And we have actually KO'd one of his Saurus in one of our first blocks of the game. This means that he will be on the sidelines for the rest of the drive, but he has a chance to come back into play after this. That said, having him KO'd puts me in a great position. We are going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're actually going to use my opponent's player Crundy here to no, he's going to pick up the ball. You're going to move to central position that's relatively safe. Actually, no. Okay, I actually want to play to this side of the pitch because I managed to KO someone. You know what? It doesn't matter. I have to pick up the ball, and I'm spending too much time. It just knows I have 12 seconds left. So we're playing really quick. Do I want to re-roll to pick up the ball? No, I don't. So this will cause a turnover because I failed to pick up the ball, but I want to save my turnovers right now. I'm already at an advantage having KO'd one of his players, and I don't want to burn all my re-rolls really early. It's going to be difficult for my opponent to run back here and steal this ball from me because I do have a player on both sides. But we will see. Now, for the people in the stream, this game is extremely close to the tabletop version rules. There are maybe 1 or 2 minor differences, and those are just due to the implementation. But this is very much a version of the tabletop game. Now my opponent, I'm down here. So you notice, just by way of explanation, during your turn, every person that you have can make one of 2 basic actions. The first action is that they can move up to their movement points. You'll see that my whites have moved 6, so they can move 6 spaces. The ghouls can move 7, the zombies can move 4, and the mummies can actually only move 3. Now here's where I'm going to have trouble, because my opponent's team is much faster than me. Instead of moving, you can choose to throw a block, which is where you're going to hit somebody that's adjacent to your player. In that case, you're going to roll dice. Based on your relative strengths, will show how many dice you roll, and you pick the result. The options are a push result, which is an arrow, where you move the person back to a square of your choice. The yellow star is, hey, I've knocked you down, and you push them onto their butts in the star of your choice. There's a skull, which is, I've actually knocked myself down, which is no good. There is and the last result. Okay, there's a star with an exclamation point in it. What this does is it knocks the player down unless they have the dodge skill. Now, all of the skinks here actually start with dodge. So if they do have the dodge skill, instead of knocking them down, it pushes them back. The last one is a skull and a star. This is a both down result, so both players actually get knocked down, both the person throwing the block and the person receiving. The exception to this is the skill block, which both of my whites have, and I believe none of my opponents have. If you have block, you actually stay standing in a both down result. Are there cheese strats? Not really, because the game is extremely random. You'll notice that you roll a lot of six-sided die, and on a roll of 1, you can have your entire game completely fall apart. Now I need to get some players involved here. This player is going to stand up using his move action to tie this guy up. You need to get involved. I have to actually get everybody somewhere useful here. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to tie up these players in tackle zones. Now these are both really easy blocks to throw. You are going to stand up to tie up players. You need to come tie up players. 1, 2, 3 brings me here so that these players are tied up in tackle zones. Now I do have some nice blocks that I can throw here, but before I do any of that, 1, 2, 3, 4, I want to be sure that I have tackle zones on the ball so that it's hard for my opponent to get the ball from me. Now we're going to start by throwing some blocks. You are going to... Actually, where do I want the ball? Cool. Okay. He's going to block this guy with a 2-die block. And it's going to be a push result because he has dodge. Which sucks, but I'm not going to follow up because these players are in a lot of trouble. Oh, Peter in the stream. Thanks for dropping by. Love having somebody here that can answer the rules questions. Most of the people in stream right now... Oh, no, I cannot afford to be knocked down here. Oh! So the both down result with my player without block means we are both getting knocked down. This is going to leave the ball in a vulnerable position, and I'm going to have a lot of trouble getting control of the play right now. My opponent has done a fantastic job splitting up, tying up a whole bunch of my players. I'm hoping that I've managed to tie up the other players on the team. Peter is I would argue, a veteran of the Blood Bowl Reddit community. He plays in a lot of the leagues that I've played with. He is actually in the Olymblix League, which I am, and I think he's on my team. Wunderbar, Lemina, James Rye. There you are, Peter. You are, in fact, the white on my team, over here mixing it up. The theme for this team, now, for those who haven't played Blood Bowl, the typical approach to making a team is to come up with a theme for it and have a lot of really weird, clever puns and stuff in your player names. This time around, my Undead team is called the Coach Crypt, and all of my Undead players are named after coaches that I have played against in other leagues. So, Peter, given his penchant for playing orcs and throwing a lot of blocks, is in here as one of my whites. I believe the other one is James Rye, the other orc player I see a lot of. My two mummies are named after the commissioners for both of the other leagues that I play. So, I have Wunderbar here, who is the commissioner of one of the commissioners of the Reddit Blood Bowl League. And I have Lamina Glacier as my other mummy, who is the commissioner of the Dwarf Head Cup. And then I believe the rest of the players are just collection players both from this league and other leagues that I have played with. Most notably, Deftwolf, my opponent in this game, is the ghoul that just caused the turnover. I think we have a traitor in the ranks. Okay, I'm going to have to plan out my next turn here. Oh! My opponent has failed a dodge, which is fantastic for me. It's going to let me gain control of the board here a little bit. Now, I have a 3-die block on this skink with Mighty Blow. If I can get a skink off the board, I'm in a great position. This might actually be my blitz this turn. But I'm not sure. I think it has to be because I need to pick up this ball and get it out of here. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 back into here. I need a secure position to end up with the ball, however. So we're going to hit this. It's a 3-die block. It's extremely reliable. You got dodge, you little jerk. I'm going to push you. You're going to go straight back to here. I'm going to follow up because I want to tie up these players somehow. This guy is going to continue to just tie up this player. All this strength 4 makes things very difficult. You, sir, can go 1, 2, 3. Actually, this is a much better blitz. If this block is successful, and I have a reroll to make sure that it is, then this guy can go 1, 2, 3, 4 to blitz that. Alright, we're going to try for this 2-die block. All I need is a push result. That's good enough. We're going to take the push, bringing you back to here, and I will follow up. My white is now free to do my blitz action for the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'll be in a good position to try to pick up the ball here. Are you, Peter, did you win the last Olymblix? I actually did not realize that you were a defending champ for the league. Yes, we'll follow up, and we've got the ball here rather covered. Now, I definitely want to find a way to somehow protect this ball, and I'm not sure what that is right now. You are going to have to... Well, I can't protect it without picking it up, and we have managed to pick up the ball, which is exactly what I want to see. You're going to back up a space. You are going to... You cover here. You're quick, so you're going to back up to here. Stand up and move here. And you, sir, are going to dodge out. Dodge, 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 dodge. Oh, there we go. So we have had a successful dodge roll, which is very much what I wanted to see. Unfortunately, I've really left these players in a vulnerable position, but I don't want to throw bad blocks with the rest of my players, so we're just going to hang back here for a turn. Unfortunately, we're moving backwards instead of forwards down the pitch. And my opponent is getting the dice rolls that he needs to free everything up here, so we'll have to see if I can't swing the momentum here somehow. Now, what I do like is the fact that this mummy is in a great place for where the ball is. But this guy's managed to corner himself on the bad side of the field, and he's actually going to take a really big hit with all the assists. And he is down. Wunderbar, you're getting distracted, man. Get your head in the game. Alright. So, I need to find a way to get the ball up the field. Just as importantly, I need to find a way to start injuring these skinks. Because if I can handle the skinks, my opponent will not be able to handle the ball, and I'll be able to try to take advantage of that in the second half. So we're going to be looking for some cool blitzes here somewhere if we can't get that going. And the fact that this mummy is still standing is going to be very good for us. But we see a successful dodge here, which means I'm going to have to blitz if I want to try to open this gap up. Ooh. And I'm not getting the blocks that I necessarily need here. I've actually been having trouble loading viewer lists as well, Dark Searcher. I'm not quite sure what's up with that. What is this? Defender stumbles, so he is continuing to kind of push me around here where he can. Let's see if you follow. Now, I have a lot of his players tied up on the left side of the field right here. So, you need to be standing. He's managed to tie up a lot of my players here, so you're going to have to stand and go to here to tie up the Croxagore, because I don't want it free to do what it pleases. Unfortunately, you're going to have to stand here. And this mummy, I really want to stand and go for it, but I may need to reroll somewhere else first. You know what? I'm going to set up a cage in here. Somehow. But I am definitely going to hit the skink here with the little guy. Because if I can get a mighty blow shot on you... Ah, jeez, all I can get is push results here. You're going to push to there, you're not going to follow. You're going to give me an assist here, so that I can hit you with the guy that has block. The ball is going to move into here. Now, unfortunately, this does mean that my opponent has some cool options for opening this up next turn. But I need to do this. So we've got a cage here, so it's difficult for my opponent to get to the ball. All I need is a push here, but I will definitely be happy to see a down result. Push is good enough. So my opponent is going to have to blitz if he wants to move in on this cage. Now that's it. I think right now he's happy just stalling me out. You are going to stand and go for it to here. And you have not fallen. For those in stream that do not know, you can move up to 2 squares past your movement speed, but you have to roll a dice for each of them. And if you roll a 1, then you get yourself knocked down. Now this is a 1-die block, but it's on the offense, so my odds are slightly better than doing it on the defense. And I've managed to get a push result, which is kind of what I want to see here. I'm going to push you to here. I'm not going to follow up. So while this player is free to move around, and probably actually cause me a bunch of havoc down here, he does not get a block this turn. So I've managed to limit the number of blocks my opponent's going to be able to throw at me on his turn. And if what I'm really hoping here, is that my opponent will throw some blocks and finally hit some unlucky dice. Because if I get a turnover, or if he maybe just gets pushes and leaves a whole bunch of blocks available for me to throw, then I might be able to turn the momentum here in my favor, or set myself up well for the second half of the game. Normally, I would be trying to run these ghouls all the way around to the backfield, and just getting around my opponents. The problem with that is that my opponent's team is faster than me, which is not usually the case. And this is not what I wanted to see happen at all. First of all, I never want my ghouls getting hit if I can help it, because they just take damage. Now we'll see if my opponent decides to put guys in here, or if he's just going to try to block my ability to move up the field. Where's this block? Oh, stop beating up my zombies. I mean, that's why he's there. I have this player here literally just to make sure that the Croxagore isn't hitting my more important players. Because the Croxagore does damage. And I was actually a little concerned that this player was going to get freed up. Now my opponent has no reserves on the sideline. If I can damage skinks here at all, then I might be in an alright position. And I do actually have a plan here for this turn now. I don't know that it's a good plan, but a plan it is. I want this guy to blitz here. After which you are going to tie up this player. You need to be standing. What I want to try to do is hand off the ball to the white and then run him up and around to finally get some forward momentum going here for me. This guy can move 3 spaces, so 1, 2, 3 to here. I'm going to keep these players tied up as long as I can. You unfortunately are... Actually, you might try to dodge out after this whole thing goes down. So we're going to move up and hit this. This is the block that matters. If this fails, then need to rethink everything here. But we have been successful. My opponent is down. I'm going to push him directly forward. I will follow up so that this skink is tied up in a tackle zone. I'm going to move you, sir, to here so that he's assisting my mummy and tying up a whole bunch of players. And now this is where my reroll is going to go, if anywhere. This my player here has to roll a 2 or more, a 3 or more on 6-sided dice to pick up the ball. And he's got it. Beautiful. Now we're actually just going to start running with this ball. We're going to get the hell out of here. Most of my opponents are tied up, so this is a great time to try to get on the offense. Now I still have rerolls. How fast can you move? It costs 3 movements to stand, 4, 5, 6. If I go for it, you cannot actually blitz me. And I do have rerolls, so we're going to try to move this guy further. And we're going to try to move one more. And he's been successful with both of those. Now those are risky rolls to make because they often do not go in your favor. This is a great 2-dice block, so I will take that. Unfortunately, all I've managed to do is push my opponent, but pushing my opponent we will do. Now you, sir, are crazy fast. You can actually get in my way. So what we're going to do is try to dodge out and then move over here to tie that player up. At least forcing my opponent to roll more dice on his turn. Because any dice that my opponent rolls is a chance for him to burn a reroll or turn over. Now, who do I want to roll this with? I want to roll this with this guy. Oh, and I skulled myself, which means I'm knocking myself down. Oh! And I've actually gotten a badly hurt result, which would mean that the game is out for the entire... Sorry, that would mean the player would be out for the entire game with the badly hurt result on the armor break roll. But Undead teams have a special rule called regeneration. I roll a dice, and on a 4 or more on a 6-sided dice, the player actually comes back. And so that was a successful roll, and my player is waiting in the reserves box to come back on after the drive ends. My opponent has a KO'd Saurus. At the end of a drive, he rolls a dice, and on a 4 or more, that player gets to come back in. Now, my hope is that... Well, I expect my opponent is going to try to dodge the skink out to get some tackle zones on me. But if any of these dice rolls fail, I'll be sitting in a very good position. Where the heck is this song from? I mean, obviously Final Fantasy 13, but I don't know where from Final 13 this song is coming from. Oh, and here comes the blitz result with the dodge. Now, oh, and the dodge roll fails. So my opponent gets knocked down, I get a turnover, and I get some serious freedom for moving my players around this next turn. So we're going to try to find a way to take advantage of this. One of the biggest things that I can do to pull ahead here is to somehow deal with this skink. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could go for it and hit you here. Oh, okay, this is great. So the first thing we're going to do is hit this Saurus to get him out of my way. There's a push, which is not at all the dice roll that I wanted, but I'm going to have to take what I can get here. Now, unfortunately, this means that this mummy can't get into the play, which is really where I wanted him to be. So instead, he's going to move up here and tie up players. Now, as I mentioned, you can move or attack every turn. You've also seen this lightning bolt. One player on your team each turn can do a blitz attack, which means he can move and hit. And we're going to do our blitz up here, and that is our most important action for the turn. So this player is going to declare a blitz. He's going to blitz the skink, knocking him down, which is everything that I needed to see. I'm going to knock him down, stick him on the sideline, not following up. Oh, and we've badly hurt him, so he is down for the game. Now, who can reach me? Pretty much no one. But this player is going to now use the rest of his movement to continue to go down the field. Now, I want to be sure that I'm out of range of everyone. This player stands for 3. Even with go for it, he cannot reach me. This player could get me in a tackle zone with a go for it. So I'm going to move a single space with a reroll available to make sure that I can score here. And that's what we needed to see. So now the trick is making sure that my team is alive for the turn after this. We're going to throw some blocks with the mummies because I have mummies and I have blocks I can throw. We've got one down. Beautiful. So you're down to here. Yes, I can follow up. which is great. This also means my white is available to throw a 2-die block here. Or 1-die block with the assist. Not necessarily what I need. These are 2-die blocks on the skinks, which is really good for me. Ooh. It's turn 5. I'm actually going to burn a reroll because I don't... Ah, crap. And we got it both down. So this is the end of our drive here. Oh, no! And my player is out with broken ribs. That means that he's going to miss his next game. It also means he's out for the rest of this game, and I don't know if that's a permanent injury. It may be, I think broken ribs might actually be -1 strength permanently or something like that. Oh no, and the other one's injured too! These are expensive players. Fortunately, he's badly hurt, so he's missing the rest of this game, but it is not a permanent injury, and it will not affect me in games following this. The broken ribs may be something a little more permanent. I'm not sure about that. I'll have to get one of the experts here. Let me know. My opponent is saying I think everything that's going in my favor just did, and unfortunately he's just beating the crap out of me suddenly. I've got 2 players that are off the pitch for the rest of the game. Now my opponent does have one that's off the pitch for the game and one that's potentially in a KO box, so we're okay. What did my opponent say? The stream is asking. My opponent was saying, in my drive up the field, everything that could have gone in my favor just did. And he is right on that. Until these players just got all KO'd. Now I need to find a way to make this work. I'm actually extremely surprised. I did not think that Croxagore had the movement to get here. I did not realize he was so fast. I need to get this player out to score. Broken ribs is missed next game, but it is not a permanent injury. That's all I'm worried about. I don't. I'm okay with the player being missing for the next game. But we will see. They're laughing at the stream delay. That's part of the problem here for sure. My stream chat is significantly behind the live game, so I'm answering questions long after I've checked it. So my opponent has in fact left me with very few options here. You're going to stand up and move up in case I fail on my attempts for next turn. You, sir, are also going to stand for the same reason. This mummy is actually going to come in here to try to help my ghoul survive when he gets hit. The ghoul's going to stand because I don't want my opponent to kick him while he's on the ground. Now, I would love to throw this block, but I need to dodge out with this player in order to score this turn. And the dodge is on a 3+ roll. Now, I do have a reroll available, so I think that's like an 86% chance that I can make this dodge and score, so we're going for it now. Oh, and the dodge works! And we've made the touchdown. There we go. That's everything we want to see. And getting a touchdown... Oh, and my opponent's source has not stood up either. So while I am out 2 ghouls, which are definitely my ball players, my opponent is missing some of his strength, so he's not quite as dangerous as he could have been, and my high block players are all still on the board. And my opponent is going into his turn 7, I believe, which means it is going to be difficult... Not impossible, but it's going to be difficult for my opponent to get a touchdown in here somewhere. Now we're going to play you guys back because I do need to be able to handle any kind of weird run-by plays by the skinks. How far can you get? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You could actually hit me here. That's really scary. We're actually going to back up here a bit. And you know what? I'm going to leave the one side vulnerable and put this guy in the middle. Just because these players are super vulnerable. And I've only got one left. I want to be sure he's safe. What are the names on the ghouls that got hurt? Well, let's see. Who's left? Zenaria's still left on the board, so that means Deftwolf, my opponent for this game, and Crundy are both out. These poor, poor players. So Deftwolf has actually broken his own rib. And the game engine has been upset with him, and let me make those rolls. You broke your own rib. Barbarian. Now, I did get a badly hurt result here with somebody. I don't know who that was, but somebody should have some skill points here. Oh! It was actually James Ride, the same player who got the touchdown. So this player is actually remarkably close to getting a... This player is actually remarkably close to getting a level up in the first game. I'm going to try to hit some more skinks with him, because if I can level him up, I will be sitting in a nice position going into game 2. Yeah, the sleeper agent is off the pitch. Apparently my opponent didn't think he was doing his job and decided to break his ribs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right to the middle. And let's see. Blitz result. The defense start their drive early, so I actually get to play a turn before my opponent does. Maybe I'll be able to save some players here. Now, what does this mean? This means I'm going to want to shift a couple players over to this side of the pitch, because my opponent has definitely deployed strongly in that direction. You need to get involved somehow. So you're going to move... Now, hang on. I can get 2 assists to make this guy weaker, but my opponent has many ways to deny those assists. So what I'm actually going to be doing here is moving some people here. The guy with points is actually going to go way back. And I'm going to attempt to use him on the offense to damage something if I can. I do not believe my opponent can score in 2 turns. He could with this white. So, sorry, with that single dude there. So I am going to keep... I'm definitely keeping some players back. But I like the idea of moving an assist up here. Blitzing there. Bringing you back as a reserve. Having you somewhere in the play back here. Whoa, dodge roll? Oh, crap. Oh, that was a mistake. I have 1 reroll left. I really want to hit someone with this mummy. I wanted to go 1-2, hit this guy, and make this whole area... Ah, crap, but I need a 5 to dodge. This is a bad reroll. I've made a huge mistake. Error! Bad move. Bad move. I did not look for the dodge roll. He should have gone 1, 2, 3, 4. See, he could have gotten there by walking behind. That was a big mistake on my part. So, as my opponents are... Or, sorry, as the stream may not be aware, all these squares are the tackle zones of my opponent. You have a tackle zone on every adjacent square. If your player moves into a tackle zone or is in a tackle zone and tries to move out, they need to do a dodge roll, and that's based on their agility stat. So you'll see that these players here have an agility value of 1, so they dodge very poorly. Agility 2 on the zombies. And unfortunately, without moving the mummy in, I set myself up to be surfed. I'm getting kicked off of the pitch here, which I did realize was a threat, but I assumed that with the mummy here, I would be completely safe from that mattering. So I made a huge play error there, which may in fact give my opponent the chance to score a touchdown this half. Now, fortunately, keeping this player back means I do have him available to deal with this skink. And this skink is the only player on my opponent's team that will be able to reach the end zone within 2 turns. And he somehow needs to pick up the ball, move it forward, and get it onto this skink. The easiest way to do that may be to pick up the ball, move up, hand it off to this skink, have this skink move up, pass it to this one, then have this skink run all the way back. Now that means there's more dice rolls, but they are more reliable dice rolls. That said, with the speed of a skink, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, short pass to here. But he is going to go for the handoff attempt. Now he's going to have to move up, successfully pass, and then run through. Wow, this play. Fortunately, my opponent failed to pick up the ball, which for me is very good. Oh no! Don't be dead, don't be dead. I have a badly hurt skeleton, and he failed his regeneration roll, so I'm short another player for the entire game. I'm now down 3 players going into the second half, which scares the crap out of me. I need to find a way to keep these odds even. But if my opponent does not move the ball in the next 10 seconds here, then this is game. Now, if I knock you over, you lose 3 movement. Okay, I need to knock this guy over because nobody else can score. Knock you over, you move 3, you have 8 left. So 3 to stand, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, go for it. So even if you're knocked over, you can still make it to the end zone. I need to have more players down here. How do I do that? You can go 1, 2, 3, and then blitz him. Or do I just do my blitz like this? See, I would need to go for it to blitz him with the mummy. Which really scares me. So this player coming back here hasn't mattered because of where I've decided to move the ball. I think I am going to blitz with the mummy because I've got better odds on the roll. This player could come in and get tackle zones there with some go for it. So 1, 2. The problem is I really want to blitz him in the upwards direction if I can. Then he'll be here. He'll stand for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go for it, go for it. 2 go for it still gets him a touchdown from there. But with 3 dice, I've got the best odds of knocking this player down. Reroll. We're going to do our reroll here. And we did knock him down. So the player is down, which is what we needed. I'm going to push him towards the sideline. Oh! And the stun means he's not standing up next turn. My opponent no longer has anybody that can reach the end zone, I believe. So we are in a fantastic position all of a sudden. You, sir, are a very vulnerable player. I'm going to pull him back because I need to be sure that he is alive here after this turn. You, sir, can actually go 1, 2, 3 into here. And now I can take a 1 dice block on the Croxagore, which is better on the offense than receiving, to knock him down to there. And yes, I will follow up. Oh, and we got the armor break that I needed to make it impossible for my opponent to score. So my opponent is going to set up to get a 3-die block on my mummy. I expect he'll use his reroll here because this is the last turn of the half. I am down. If he does not break armor, I'll be okay going into the second half here. And we're sitting all right. So I expect to see a vanity pass because he may as well try to get some points on the skink here. Yeah, so my opponent could have gotten a dodge and then go for it into the end zone there. He had no rerolls available, so it would have been difficult for him if I just knocked him down. But the stun means that the player can't actually stand up this turn. It makes it impossible instead of just difficult. So for those who are new to Blood Bowl, after 8 turns, it is halftime. The entire board is reset. Oh, and the Saurus is still down, which I desperately needed, given that I'm short 3 players right now. So I am 1 player short on the pitch compared to my opponent here. He's starting off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players. 8? 8, 9 players, and I have 8 players on the pitch. Now, the players that I have are good. I want to keep my ghoul somewhere fairly safe. My zombies are going to get pushed around wherever they are. If I split them around, either way, my opponent's going to be throwing good dice blocks against them. Wow, but I'm so desperately short on players here that I'm going to keep my people back so that I can shift them to whatever side of the board I need to. This is going to be a very difficult half. If I can somehow manage to beat up the skinks, it will make it very hard for my opponent to handle the ball, as the rest of his team is agility 1, so it'll be very hard for him to pick up or move the ball around. So the skinks are definitely the weak point in this army right now. But he has so much strength up front that it's going to be very difficult for me to play this. I don't know why the viewer list is broken. The last week when I've been streaming, I haven't been able to check the viewer list at all. There's something seriously messed up there. This is a terrible song. Ah, Chocobos of Cocoon. Now I really feel like an armor break one way or the other could really swing this game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If my opponent is short 1 more player, then we're suddenly even on the field, and I think I'll be in a good position. Oh, he got an extra reroll again. Wow. Getting that fame roll is really working out for him. Let's scroll down here so you guys can see my players get beat up. Oh! It was only a push. Beautiful. If I get some lucky pushes here, instead of getting my players knocked down, I might actually be in a position to come in at my opponent the turn after this. What I want to be doing is using my zombies and my mummies to smack the Saurus around, hopefully leaving these 3 players 3 to respond to their skinks. Now, I don't know that that is going to be an option. Oh, wow. Are you actually that fast? Wow, you little jerk. This is actually a big problem. Because he's going to split to both sides, and I'm not fast enough to play back and forth that way. Perhaps I should have had my mummies on the line to try to keep as much tied up as possible. Ooh, and a knockout. I'm short 1 more player. I'm now at a 2-player disadvantage on the pitch right here. And I'm going to have to find a way to somehow threaten the ball to make up for that. Wow. The sheer amount of players I've got in the can. Who was that? Oh, Hippie is down. Ah, no, my opponent has failed to pick up. He did use a reroll, and he failed to pick it up again. Which is excellent, because my opponent is going to be short a reroll, and he's turned over before the skinks could activate, which will rob him of a certain quantity of... a huge chunk of momentum. Now the question is, where do I commit? It really looks like my opponent wants to come to this side, but I need to leave something over here in case the skinks give me a big run around. I could blitz into here, putting a block player up against this Saurus. Block player here, you get no assist. This hits that and ties up a bunch of players, which is actually not bad at all. So I am going to try to do this. I like seeing that there. This guy is not throwing a blitz this turn, so he's going to step up to try to tie up this player. Now, I want to leave this guy liquid to come to this side of the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the furthest he can go. But he's not blitzing anybody yet. So I am going to move him in here. And he's definitely in a position to come back out if I need him to. This player is hanging back because he's the mobile. He's my catch-up later. And sorry, we'll bring the dice log back up here. Now, here's my blitz. So I do get a 2-die block here. And I have the player down. I'm going to push him down here. Now, if I move up into this, it's going to be 2 dice against 1. But I'm short players. I almost need to be, unfortunately, taking bad dice here. This player is just going to get smacked whatever happens. So I think this is actually the end of my turn. The fact that my opponent has already burned the free reroll has me in a good position. Oh, wow. Who was that? Mesencephalic Duck. Oh, wow. I love the names on his team. Bird brains. They're all brain terms. Or like parts of the brain. And renamed with birds in it. Crescent's Falcon. I can't even pronounce that one. Egrithalamus. Medulla oblongata. Crossbilellum. Albatross. Fasciculus. And Crotex instead of Cortex. Oh, wow, another knockout. I cannot believe the armor rolls that my opponent's getting. I'm just got nobody left on the pitch. What I need to do is slow him down long enough that he cannot play for a 2-1 victory here, and he has to play for the tie. I do not think that I can prevent him from at least tying the game with the way that the game's playing right now. I'm short too many players. I've got 5 players off the pitch, which means it is currently 6 on 9. I've got 3 less players. Now, fortunately, that means I'm even on players here. The entire disadvantage is that my opponent has 3 players trying to manage the ball here, and they're just not doing it. Unfortunately, the players that I do have are all tied up. 2 rerolls to pick up the ball. So he's burned another reroll, which may actually help me out here. We are going to continue to take blocks anywhere we can. We'll take a push here. Push. I'm going to push you central, and I am going to follow up. Because I don't want my mummy being out of the play. These are now very bad blocks, anything that I do. And this player can actually hit me now. So I think that, in fact, my safety is going to stop being a safety and move up to see if he can't come around and pressure this ball somehow. Because back here, he's just in too dangerous a position, and I do not think that I can actually prevent my opponent from scoring anymore. He's a 1-die block, but again, I'm always better on the offense than on the defense. And we've knocked you down, so this is perfect. I've knocked my opponent down. I'm going to put him on the sideline, and I could potentially surf him here now if he stands back up. So he's going to be a little less hesitant to set up a 2-die block over there. Now this guy here has 2 dice against him, whatever he throws here. But he's not actually helping where he is anyway, so I might as well throw it. Alright, Dark Searcher is out. Thanks for dropping by the stream. It's always good having people here. Okay. I don't know if I leave this player standing. I feel like I... 2 dice against, they're 2 die that are bad. Everything else is okay for me. But I don't even want to push this player. So I am actually just going to end turn where he is. Uh-oh, there's the ball pickup that I've been afraid of. Now, all of a sudden, moving this guy around the back is not necessarily in my favor. Down to... Now, that he can still actually get here and get a blitz off if I need to. But if I had him back here, this Saurus was going to blitz him and potentially knock out my last ghoul, and I really am going to need them. Oh, he's doing the go for it. Is that so that he can score next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go for it, go for it. So he's now in scoring range if he needs to be. I did actually expect some of the assists to come in from the skinks from over here. And perhaps I didn't properly think about the fact that if I get pushed, I'm suddenly on the sideline myself if I stand this mummy. Uh-oh. So, I need to find a way to get this ball out, and unfortunately my opponent still has blocks to throw. And this is a very scary cage. He might actually attack this guy and move him out to complete the cage. Oh! That's what I need to see. We got a turn over here unless he burns a reroll. There we go. We have an opening. You, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Go for it to hit the skink with a 2-die block. You can stand up. Go for it to get in here if I need you to. You're going to stand up. And unfortunately, this Croxagore is tying up everything, which is just nothing but problems. And this player is in a very vulnerable position if he does come over here and hit the ball. But if he knocks it loose, then my opponent's really going to have to commit here. And what I'm trying to do is buy time. We're going to go for the go for it 2-die block on the skink. This is probably a very bad idea. Ah! Okay, I could push him. Or I could both down. We're going to go for a push. Push you straight back, and I'm not going to follow up because that puts me in, like, my guy is probably going to die position. You're going to stand. And then he's going to go for it to bring him back into the play. And he's not going to fail his go for it because I really need him. Now this block could free up my zombie, which would be great, but this is a 2-die block and we're going to take it first because it's more reliable, less likely to cause a turnover. We have you down. I'm going to follow up, and if we get... Give me an armor break. Give me an armor break. Come on. Nothing. Wow. All my mighty blown. I'm still not breaking armor. That's okay. We're going to hit you. And we're going to succeed. Oh, I have block and you don't. Perfect. So we've managed to knock down the Croxagore, which is a huge momentum swing. Now this player is free to move. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. I want him somewhere that he can help protect my skink. Or my my fellow here. So we're going to move him around here. Now he's in a dangerous position. All these guys are just going to get knocked down anyways, but I'm going to force my opponent to roll as many dice as possible. Because all it takes is a bad dice roll for me to take the advantage back, and this is a huge start to that. As I mentioned, the Croxagore, his strength 5 player, has boneheaded. He has to roll a 6-sided dice every turn, and on a roll of a 1, it does nothing that turn and loses its tackle zones, and it is finally being boneheaded. So this player is down, and that's going to give me a lot of freedom to try to get these players back into the game somehow. Most specifically, this blitzer can come in and get involved in the play. And I'll only need a single zombie to keep this tied up. Now the real question on my opponent's side is, where is his blitz? Does he try to blitz a hole here so that the skink can come through? I think practically what he needs to do is run the skink really wide and get it over on this side of the board. If he can tie up this blitzer, which he doesn't have a way to do right now. He needs to protect this skink somehow, because with this blitzer free, I can actually come in and try to hit it again. And if I can get my opponent to drop the ball, I might be able to turn this whole drive in the other direction. Now, unfortunately, I have nobody waiting to come back on. So even if I do get the ball back, I'm going to have some trouble playing a turn after this. Oh, and he decided to take a dodge roll. If that had failed and I had managed to get a, wow. If that had been a fail, my opponent would be in an extremely dangerous position right now. But he has set up a blitz to try to push my mummy off the field, and I need a hope for a good dice result. Ah! My mummy is down. This is rough. And he's knocked out. My opponent rolling a, well, high dice, whatever it was, for the injury. Wow, and I'm in a lot of trouble. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players left standing. On the team that is typically the bashy team in most matchups and manages to just hold the ball, I'm definitely not in control of the ball. Oh, the dice rolls are not going my way. So we need to find a way to turn this around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go for it. 7 to here. You can dodge and hit this guy. But this is in my way for everything I need to do. 2. 6 to here. Go for it. To here. Doesn't fall over. You're here tying this up. This player is going to dodge out. Dodge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he's going to hit this guy. Freeing up the ball. Assuming he dodges. He has dodged successfully. Here's my hit. Ah, I have not knocked him down. I'm going to re-roll in the hopes that I get a better result. I have not. So he is knocked down. I'm going to push him next to this. Do I have movement left? I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I am not following up. I can move here and then go for it, which puts me in an even better position. Far enough away from nothing. His whole team can reach me anyway. So we are just going to move up and cover the ball as best that I can. This is a good block, so we will roll it, despite the fact that my mummy here is just slowly beating his way into irrelevance. If he does ever manage to actually injure something, then we'll be in an alright position here. You, sir, can't do much. So I'm actually going to try to dodge him out. In the off chance that he can get into position to make it hard for my opponent to blitz this whole area. And we got lucky dice on the dodge, so I'm fairly defended here. Now my opponent can just dodge out very easily. I'm not in a great position here. And even with dodges, this player going anywhere doesn't help him affect the play. He's best off just tying up this Saurus and taking a hit. Kurth is upset. I gave you one piece of advice. Stop losing players. And here I am losing players. I tell you. My opponent is rolling very good dice to break armor. Ooh, I actually had not thought of this. He might blitz my, blitz here. And he's got me down. There it is. My opponent is definitely going to be able to dodge out of this and score a touchdown off the back. Which is not the position I wanted to be in. Now, fortunately, moving this zombie down has denied tackle zones, so we will have to bring another Saurus down. Oh, but there's the dodge, and is he going to take the touchdown this turn? Yes, he is. 1 touchdown for my opponent. Alright, let's see if our players stand up. Please, stand up, my team. Oh, no, he got his Saurus back at last. So he's got 10 players, and both of my players are back up. Oh, all 3. Wow. Wow. Okay, so I'm still short 3 players, so I'm at 8 players to his 10, but it is better than my situation the turn before this. So we're currently on set for a tie game. Now we will be receiving the ball now, But I have 3 turns to try to score here. And I may, in fact, go peculiarly aggressive to try to make that happen. The risk is... is that if I get a turnover, my opponent is so fast that he can very quickly capitalize on that, score, and take the win away from us. That said, early in a league like this, on game 1, you're better off playing to get as many skill points as possible. If you lose the game, then you lose the game. But if I get the touchdown, that's worth 3 extra skill points somewhere. And I can see if I should be seeing if I can try to make that work for me. I mean, Stream is asking me. It is a real, it's a real toss-up whether you want to tie or play for the win. A part of it, the tie is worth more in terms of the league. Sorry, a tie is worth 1 point for your team standing. A win is worth 3. But aside from just that, you also need to think about leveling your players and setting yourself up for a strong league following this. So my opponent is definitely backing up his players here. He's worried about me somehow blitzing a gap in this, and I'm definitely going to be trying to. The problem is getting the ball up to that gap. So all my players are up here. Now I want to tie up as much as I can here. I want a mummy here that can hit this, and I have to have at least 3 players up near the ball so I can go like this. The second mummy can blitz one of these if I need to, but I need to be sure that I do not fail picking up the ball and I get it over here. The other thing I need to do for certain is get my ghoul up in scoring range at some point. So I may do my ball handling with one of the whites. Actually, we're gonna do my ball handling with the white that needs 1 skill point, and I might even try to pass with him. Now, is this zombie just out of place? Yes, he is, because he can't even get into the play there. I prefer having him here. You know what? We'll go like that. We'll go like this. And we'll be able to move however we want into this. I just need to hope that I get the ball and I can set up a defensive position. There's my kick. And give me a good roll. Blitz! Oh, this is the worst possible result for me. I'm in a lot of trouble. I did decide to set up offensively, trying to get ahead of the position here. With the blitz, my opponent gets a turn before I do, which means I'm going to be knocked down. He's going to be able to move all his players in here, and I'm going to have a lot of trouble moving the ball into a safe position. Because I did leave myself extremely vulnerable. Extremely vulnerable to my opponent if I didn't manage to secure the ball properly. And he's just completely taking advantage of this. This is a horrible, horrible result for me. Especially because this ghoul is actually vulnerable to getting blitzed as well, and I need him if I'm going to make this play work. Now, if the ball bounces in the right direction and I start with it, I will be able to salvage this play very well. If the ball goes the wrong way, I am in a lot of trouble. Oh, is he not? Oh no, because he wants to run past. So what I need to do is somehow set up a cage with my mummies and find a way to break out and get downfield with the ghoul. But the ghoul is going to be tied up. Best possible scenario right now is that this ball lands and bounces onto my white so that he can pick it up. And I really want to try passing with him because it would let him level up. But I just do not think that I'm lined up for that right now. So I just have to pray that somehow this ball bounces to me and not to him. Or in any of these tackle zones. If it's in any of these 6 squares, I'm in trouble. If it's in any of the bottom 3, I'm okay. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Bounce down. Bounce down, ball. Down. Ho, ho, ho. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is my most speed, and then I can try to pass it to you if you're standing somewhere all right. You're going to stand up. He has to pick up the ball. You can pick up the ball and go up to here. I need the ghoul in a position to receive it. 6. Go for it. 7. Handoff. Handoff to you. Then he runs into there. So you need to be in a better position, which is here, closing out the rest of my cage. Or I put you here, closing out the cage from this side. Now this is a risky play, because if I fail to pick this ball up, it is game over right now. So don't fail to pick it up. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go for it. 7. Doesn't fail to go for it. He's going to hand off the ball to you, who's not going to fail it. So I do have the ball. Now this player was going to move up into a cage right here. It's going to be extremely vulnerable from the back side. The other option is to run it forward, but I don't have a way to defend that well. You could go 1, 2, 3 to here. You could hit this. I could, in fact, move the cage forward depending on how these blocks go. But I think I'm better off just hanging out and being defensive right now. Actually, I could move the cage up 1 square very safely. And I need this to be as far forward as possible. No, we're going to hang out where we are. We're not going to go too far forward. He's going to go here. This block needs to be successful because I need this mummy. Push is good enough. I'm going to push you to there. Not following. And now you, sir, can come back and cover my cage. So I've got a full cage here. I've got players around the ball. I've managed to semi-recover the situation. You are not going to attack anybody. Now, this player, I've not blitzed. I can move forward 1 and blitz here. What does that open up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know what? With where my players are, this is still a secure cage if I move up and take a blitz. And if I knock somebody down, it potentially gives me an opening for a turn later. Unfortunately, he's not knocked down to there. So you go to there. I'm not following up. And I actually have movement left to come back down and refill the cage. Oh! But I don't have time left. Crap. Him being down 1 more space would have been a much, much better situation for me. But I ran out of clock. That's a player. Since I've started streaming, I've started having clock problems. I never had trouble when I was just playing on my own. So we will find out here if my opponent is going to try to break my cage or just get a wall up so that I can't get through. He has a lot of players available to try to break into this, and he is going to open this up successfully. And then he can put a player in each of these squares fairly easily so that it's hard for me to get out. Ooh, but he... Okay, so he's going to have 2 tackle zones on the ball, and I'm going to have a lot of difficulty opening that up. He's also going to probably... actually, and he can hit me from this side too. Oh, wow. Okay, so we're going to have a lot of trouble getting this ball loose because there are going to be a lot of tackle zones on the ball. I am surprised that he decided to hit the white instead of the zombie because the white is the harder player to move. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, pushing that to there. Aha, and we have a turnover. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. 1 turnover. That's a start. Now, my plan here is to get the ball up the field somehow. I have a couple ways to do that. One of them is actually to go to here. 1, 2, 3, hit this guy to there, push him there, and then dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moving myself all the way down the field with the ball. I need to tie that player up then somehow. But this is actually the best setup that I can get for that. So you're going to stand up and attempt to tie up players. Now, if somehow this whole turn fails, I need as many players tied up as possible. So these guys are all going to stand where they are. You're going to hit this player I'm going to take the dodge roll because I need the ball out of here somehow. If you hit here and go to there, I'm actually standing in a better position because I have more movement. So we're going to try our blitz now while I've got... oh, crap. I cannot afford to turn over here. I'm going to have to re-roll this. I'm going to have to take a push, which is not ideal at all. We're going to push you to there, and we are going to follow up. So this is me playing a very risky style of game. I've burned a reroll already, which means this is going to be a hard dodge to make. But I need to get this ball out of here somehow. So don't fall. That's my boy. Now, I do not have rerolls for go for it. But I have a really bad blocks coming at me. So we're going to try to get this ball as far away from my end zone as possible. I should have moved this white first. There's a 1 in 6 chance of me just dropping the ball and being in a lot of trouble. But I need to move it forward. Oh! And we fell with the go for it. I knew that was a big risk. But practically, that ball was going to get knocked loose regardless of what I did because of the number of blocks coming. Now, things that I would have liked to have done differently, I would have liked to have had a chance to throw this block and tie this up better, and also to move this white over here to tie up that player. The boneheaded here will help me a bit, but it's not quite enough, and my opponent is going to get the ball back. Now, fortunately, he has 2 turns left to score. He does have people in scoring position. So I need to hope that he does not get the ball and find... Now, here's the problem. He has to pick up the ball with this player because it's the only one with the agility to reliably handle the ball. So he is moving up this turn to pick up the ball, bring it back and get it to this player so that this player in a future turn can bring it all the way down here. Once again, he's going to leave a single skink as the scoring player, and I need to find a way to knock that out. Fuzzy Mountie asks, how long do these games last? They go for 16 turns, as you can see in the top right. They typically play from somewhere from like an hour to an hour and a half. It can go to 2 hours. It depends on the turn limit. I should have silenced Steam because it keeps popping up in the background there, but we will leave it as is and see if we can't somehow control the ball for the end of this turn. I want to make it as difficult as possible for my opponent. Oh, he picked up the ball, so he is going to move it out of here, I expect, at least part way. He may even try to pass it this turn, but we will see. Or he may hold on to it. I think his best bet for the odds is to pass for it because he is out of rerolls. He may as well do that now so that next turn he can run down and hand off and then just walk it in. If he fails, he's got 2 players that are available to try to finish this. I expect he will try to pass it. Ooh, he's going to go for it and hand it off instead, which are better odds. Oh no, he's going to hold on to the ball. So he's setting up all the passes for the turn after this. Unfortunately, none of the players that I have here are high enough agility to dodge out of this. You could dodge 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then blitz this guy, hitting him. You can hit this guy first, which is okay. You need to stand up. More importantly than anything, I need to hit this player, because this is the only player that can score. If I can knock him down, my opponent cannot score. If I can knock down the ball, it's going to be hard, but not impossible. And I do have 1 reroll left. Is there any way to open this up? If I hit you... I have a lot of bad blocks here. And I really want to open this player up without having to dodge out. Okay, this player is going to try to get in here. You're going to hit this to make this whole area just a little more difficult, but the blitz on you is the most likely chance I have to prevent my opponent from scoring. So we're going to try it, and I just have to pass the dodge, and give me a down. Give me a down. Downed! Boom! So my opponent is down. If he stands, he'll have to stand and dodge. 1, 2, 3, 4. He actually cannot reach the end zone anymore. I have managed to prevent my opponent's chance at scoring. So suddenly this is going to turn the game around. We're going to be trying to hit my opponent as much as we can. Ah! Reroll. Reroll. Down. Pajoom. You start down. You're going to move straight back, and I will follow up. Now the question is, can I somehow get the ball out of all this chaos? And I may be able to. Nope. No chance now. So, my opponent has the ball. He has a single turn left, but he does not have a way to reach the end zone because I got the block dice that I needed. This was a 2 in 6 chance that I could knock the player down. There's the opponent down, the single star. There's the both down because I have block. It will knock him down, and he does not. The defender stumbles, which is the star and the exclamation point, would not work because my opponent has dodge, and I would have just pushed him back a space instead. It still would have made it harder for him to score because I would have tackle zones. He would need to do a dodge roll. But as it stands, we've managed to stall this out and get the tie. We made a serious attempt at this goal by running my ghoul down here with the ball. Perhaps I should not have gone for the go for it. It would have been a greater threat of me potentially dodging out and scoring. But as it stands, we're set up for a tie. Now, we haven't gotten a lot of skill points. I've gotten 2 skill points for badly hurt on this player. I've gotten 3 for my touchdown, all of them on the same player, the white. And we do have one player who's going to miss the next game. So we are coming out from this a little worse for wear. But grabbing the tie is not a bad result at all. It does set us up fairly decently, and we will see where the MVP goes. Unfortunately, it is impossible for anybody to level unless I get an injury here somewhere. I expect that my opponent is trying to decide whether he's going to kick my mummy while it's on the ground. Or do a vanity pass. Oh, hang on. Hippie's going to try to intercept the pass. My opponent's going to try to pass. He fails it. I fail the interception, and the ball's like way the heck back here. Somewhere silly. You gotta go now, guys, so I'll see you soon. Alright, see you around, Fuzzy. Thanks for dropping by the stream. You stand up. You're not doing anything. Pretty much all I have right now are a couple blocks that I can throw. If I can manage to clear the ball off, then I could actually try to pick it up and throw a pass. So we're going to try throwing our blocks on the Armor 7 Skinks because that is our best chance to get something done. Do that to there and follow up, and we'll see where this ball bounces. Maybe I'll get a lucky chance to pick it up. Not the case. You're going to hit him. Another push, unfortunately. We get nothing but pushes here. Yeah, we're going to follow up. Now, I have no assists there. You could come here and hit this guy, and that's probably a better chance of getting points than that I get with the... that I would get trying to handle the ball with all those tackle zones. And both down because I do have block is a safe result, and we do not get any kind of touchdown zone, but we can go for it to give myself an assist on this guy. And we may as well. Because now we got at least an even dice block there. And no one else is doing any blocks. So we'll throw a block here. Ah, player down, jerk. Yep. We'll do a chain push to there. Moving our assists around, and we're not breaking armor anywhere. We have a 1-die block here that we could take. You know what? For zombie versus Crocs, that's not bad. Oh no, my armor is lower. This is a bad idea. But it has worked out. You're down. Really, the only reason we're doing this is we're searching for injuries because they can't help our team level up. And we've not found any. So for the last play, we're going to... Do I have a blitz? I do not have a blitz. These hits both suck. I could dodge out and try to kick this guy with a +1 to break armor. And I feel like this is the only play that we have. So we're going to try it. And there's nothing there. GG, game over. Unless I miscounted the halves. I hope I did not. Alright, so we got to the tie. Not the worst result, considering how many players we had off the pitch there. I'm very happy that we managed to secure our touchdown early in that game, because things got rough through towards the second half. I have rolled a 2 for winnings, so I'm getting very little money for this game, and my opponent is getting 60k. So the dice are just going his way where it matters. He's going to get a lot of skill points from the injuries. And let's check the MVPs. He's getting an MVP on one of his skinks, who has actually leveled up. This is the same skink that got the touchdown, so he's managed to level up a player. Now I want an MVP on anybody except a zombie. And we have... oh, Peter McBeater hanging out in the stream. Look at this. Hitting the first star player point MVP for the team. So we might be able to get him leveled up very soon and hopefully make a play off of that. Otherwise, I think we got very few, we got 5 points on the other white. So both of my whites are currently sitting at 5 points. They're both in a great position to level up if they get either a touchdown or an injury. And that should be it for the game this time around. Next week, I'm not quite sure who we're up against, but we did manage to get a tie result, which is not bad at all coming into this league, which is definitely a bit more of a competitive league, I think, than the leagues I'm used to playing. So, thanks to anybody that has dropped by for the stream and is checking the game out on YouTube for this week. Let me just pull up my stream software here. As many of you are aware, you can catch the live streams at Nerris_games on Twitch TV. For all my Blood Bowl games, they'll be showing up on my YouTube channel for Blood Bowl, Nerris.BBL, and they're also posted on Reddit. And of course, if you're checking out any of our other gaming that's up on stream, a lot of the highlights will be making their way to the Nerris.games YouTube channel. Thanks a lot for everybody stopping in. Good luck in your games this week, and we'll see you next week as these leagues continue.